So let's do some demos here. The first demo I want to, actually one demo, and then I'm going to show you a video. This demo is about privilege escalation and how we make it easy on cyber criminals. This is Darth Vader's computer. Really, it is. Running Windows 7, fully patched, up to date. Now, Darth Vader is the kind of guy who likes convenience, okay? He wants it easy for him to get access to whatever he needs to get access to. If he wants to install some software on that system, he wants just to be able to do it. He doesn't want to be prompted for higher level credentials to do higher level stuff. He's a convenience guy, okay? So as a result of that, Darth Vader runs, his account on his computer runs as what's called administrator. And most of you are familiar with the concept of administrator versus regular user. But he's an administrator on this system. Now, we have sent Darth Vader a very special file. This is a file called Death Star Vulnerabilities. Now, something he's very interested in because he needs to protect this Death Star against a rebel attack, right? So what's he going to want to do? He's going to want to open this. However, when we sent this file, we created it so that when he runs it, it's going to create a backdoor and it's going to phone home to his computer. It's going to phone home to our computer, the attackers, and give us access to his computer in his account. So here goes Darth Vader. He's going to run this file. And he does so, he's going to check out the Death Star vulnerabilities. Meanwhile, back at our attacker's computer, we have an interactive session, wherever we are in the world, we'll be in Belize today, with his computer, and we're logged in as Vader, as you can see there. So we're going to run some commands, and our goal here is to steal the password hashes that are on this system, so we can use those password hashes to move around the network. You can see that these commands, you don't have to worry about exactly what they are, but we're migrating to a system process here. See how simple and easy and quick this is, and how we were able to get those password hashes that fast because he's logged in as administrator. Yoda, on the other hand, is a little wiser. Yoda realizes that sometimes convenience isn't necessarily the best thing. He realizes that if an attacker gets access to his account, what kind of things he could do, and maybe that there needs to be something that keeps the attacker from gaining that high-level access so easily. So as a result of that, on his Windows computer, Yoda runs as a standard user. So we're going to do the exact same thing against Yoda here. We sent the exact same file to Yoda, and well, he really needs to see that because they're preparing the rebel attack, right? So he runs that file, we get the exact same access to his computer, and we're in as Yoda. And we're going to run the exact same commands to try to grab those password hashes off his computer. Well, here's the problem. We try to run these same commands, we'll give it a second here to run, and we get errors. Not in the admins group, cannot escalate with this particular module. So the next thing we'll try to change our process and try to see if we can steal those password hashes that way. We'll migrate our process and do the same thing. No, cannot migrate, insufficient privileges. And what you're seeing here is that we've made it harder for the attacker to get access to the stuff we needed because we've lowered our privilege on the system. Okay? So where's all this going? There's a really good concept in terms of talking about least privilege, and that's the concept of an automobile valet key. Most of you are probably familiar with the valet key. If you give this to a valet, it will start the car, open the left-hand door, but it will not allow the person who's driving the car access to your glove box or your trunk, where you might have something valuable. So you're giving them access to the car, but at a lesser level of privilege. Well, the same thing can apply to your computing on a day-to-day basis. If we run as a lower-level account, and then when we need to do something important, we elevate our privileges by maybe putting in a different password, then we make it harder for an attacker. The same thing goes for day-to-day stuff. It's really important that if you're working on a county computer that has access to protected information, that you don't use that same account for your casual internet browsing and casual personal email use, because that's the vector where people get the most attacked. You want to make it hard for a bad guy in case you do get compromised for them to get access to the juicy stuff. The same thing goes at home. Don't do your banking on your kid's computer. You know, for sure. Keep that stuff separate. It's really, really important to do that. Same thing, you know, do the best you can to make sure that your day-to-day account usage, you know, we'll talk about this a little bit more later, but you're not using the same password and the same username in all your account places because it makes it really easy